Hi, Love Bug. Welcome to the Naked Yoga Podcast. This podcast is all about incorporating bits and pieces of yogic philosophy and spirituality into your everyday life. I'm your host, Nneka, a graduate student at Columbia University's Spirituality Mind-Body Institute. I'm also a yoga and meditation instructor at a little studio called Core Power Yoga. You may have heard of it. My mission here is to help you nourish your mind, body, and spirit connection. Each podcast episode will begin with a guided meditation, followed by the core of the episode pairing a spiritual concept with science. Lastly, each episode will end with a mindful closure, providing you with actionable steps you can do after listening to deepen your mind, body, and spirit connection. So, without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. Okay, so we are live and it is our first episode. I am so excited to be here. If you guys are near and dear to me, this podcast has been on my mind for such a long time, and I cannot believe the day has come much later than I actually expected, but the day is here and it is the first episode. So we are going to begin today's episode with box breathing. It's a really beautiful meditation technique, and it was honestly one of the first ones I learned in my yoga teacher training with Y7. So box breathing can really help calm down your heart rate if you're feeling anxious and need a moment to just center yourself during a busy day. And so let's just get into it. So wherever you are, begin to relax your mind, your body. Begin to feel the earth underneath you. And just go ahead and let out any empty and stale air with an SH sound. Shh. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 times. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Twice more. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a moment and just sit with that. Maybe if you are able to, you take some time to journal and reflect and maybe pause the episode here. But if you would like to keep going, I am very excited to share that today's episode is how to start a meditation practice. So we're going to be getting in all the little nitty-gritty details, things that I've done that have really helped me kind of maintain my meditation practice. But I'm laughing now because of course, when I edited and wrote the script for this podcast, I was on a 20-day, 30-day meditation streak. And if I am being completely honest with you all, I have very much fallen off the wagon when it comes to my meditation practice. So this episode is as much for you as it is for me. So I want to get started, and that was my chair. I hope you guys didn't hear that. But I wanted to get started today and chat a little bit about the history of meditation. So, meditation was first found historically written actually in the Vedas in around 1500 BC. If you are an active yogi, you may be familiar with the Vedas, but if you are not, I want to give a little bit of a brief history on Hinduism and yoga. So, the Vedas are actually a religious text from the Hindu religion, and that is where we first see meditation actually recorded in written history. Hinduism and yoga kind of grew up in parallel in India, each practice truly influencing the other while still remaining separate entities. In tandem, Buddha, who was born in about 563 BC in Nepal, which actually geography lesson. Nepal borders China, and oftentimes when people hear about like Tibetan monks, people don't necessarily associate Tibet with China, but Tibet is actually a state in China. But as I digress, meditation is truly a gift from not the Middle East. Oh my God. Meditation is truly a gift from the East. So India, Nepal, China, and it has actually been preserved through colonialism and religious persecution. So I definitely want to give a lot of honor for the blood, sweat, tears that have been shed in order to kind of keep this history and these traditional healing practices alive, because there was, we don't have to get too much into the history, but people have died because of yoga and because of Hinduism and Buddhism and just the right to practice their religion philosophies as they want to. So back in those days, yoga was actually said to be devil worship. We have our sun salutations in yoga, which is essentially worshiping the sun, which is why at times when you are in secular places like schools, yoga kind of is frowned upon because sun salutations are, kind of praising the sun. So that is something that just to, kind of be mindful of. So colonialism really fueled a civil war between, India, which was primarily Hindu, and then Pakistan, which is primarily Muslim, but, kind of at the time people were living together in harmony before colonialism. So I don't want to get too far away from spirituality, but I do think we truly have to take the time to recognize the history and honor our Asian brothers and sisters who have died in order to protect this ancient wisdom that can be found in meditation practice today. So I did not want to go any further without naming that, and I just wanted to really voice that. And if you have any additional comments on this topic, you can find me at Nneka. Leave me a comment on my latest Instagram post, or just send me a DM, and I'd love to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about it, because it is something that is really near and dear to my heart, and something that as I operate in these spiritual places at the Spirit Mind Body Institute at Columbia and at Core Power Yoga, we don't really have the space to have these conversations. So hopefully this Naked Yoga podcast can be the space to have those authentic and honest conversations about these spiritual concepts. So with the history and the naming and the honoring, all of that being said and done, I want to get into my tips. So my first tip is to actually start small, 5 minutes a day or less. So truly, if you're wondering how do I get started with a meditation practice, you don't need to do a lot of time. Honestly, our box breathing exercise, which wasn't too long, that can be a form of meditation. You took a moment for yourself, you focused on your body, you focused on your breath, and just clearing your mind. Totally counts as a meditation. So you're already halfway there. When you're making goals for yourself, it's always nice to start small so you have something easy to kind of just check off And when you're able to kind of check these things off and have these little mini accomplishments from your mini goals, you're able to increase your self-efficacy. And so self-efficacy, oh gosh, say that 10 times fast. Self-efficacy is a psychological term that refers to an individual's belief in his or her capacity to execute on behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainments as defined by Dr. Bandura. In other words, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that's self-efficacy. So make the goal as small as possible. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, you don't look at your phone, you take a couple of breaths, and that is your daily meditation. Maybe you take a mindful walk from your desk during work and you have, kind of a moving walking meditation. Whatever is easy for you and small enough not to be intimidating, make that your goal and stick to it. Let's talk about guided meditations. So we have our small little micro meditation goals, but I love a good guided meditation moment. So in general, just so we're all clear, meditation is an intentional and non-judgmental awareness and acceptance of the present moment and experiences. This awareness is key to enlightenment in Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, and in yogic religions and lifestyles. So when we're coming in life, sorry, I feel like that doesn't even make sense. Hopefully I edit that in post. But when we're walking through life, it's so easy to have all these different thoughts to be in the future. What am I going to eat tonight? What am I doing this weekend? Am I going to pass this class? Am I going to turn in that project on time? Should I call my mom today? Like, we just have all these little thoughts that pop up, or we think about the past. Oh, wow. I really shouldn't have said that. Or, oh, it would have been so much better if I would have said this instead. Or, my life would be so much better if 10 years ago, instead of choosing A, I actually chose B. Our minds can just ruminate and ruminate and ruminate. And I keep laughing because I just feel honestly a little bit silly talking into a mic in my kitchen. But this is what podcast life is like. Okay, anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to topic. In the West, Ivy League universities have begun to research the scientific benefits that have been protected by these ancient Indian Chinese faith traditions. Neuroscientists Dr. Creswell, Dr. Eisenberger, and Dr. Lieberman found that meditation has led to increased attention and perception. Guided meditations are a way to start a meditation practice. There's Insight Timer, I'm a little bit biased towards Insight Timer, but there's also Headspace, and I'm sure there's like a crazy insane amount of guided meditations on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube, I'm sure you can find one. Honestly, that's a good video idea. I'm going to make a meditation YouTube video soon, coming soon. If I ever get to it, I'll put it in the show notes here. But a guided meditation is simply having someone's voice guide you through the meditation as opposed to meditating in silence or just meditating to music. So either way you choose, it's going to be the right choice for you and it's going to make a difference in your mental health. Don't feel torn if you're not able to be like a Buddhist monk who sits in silence for like 45 minutes. We all aren't on that path. So whether you are able to kind of start in silence and just take those couple of breaths, or if you find that it's more motivating to go on Insight Timer and just pick sounds or find a meditation teacher that you like. I really like Lauren Ash from Black Girls in Om. She has like a 7-minute meditation that I'm obsessed with. I do it honestly all the time. It's probably one of my favorites. I think I probably have attributed to probably like 200 of the listens on there. Another type of meditation that I want to talk to you guys about was visualizations. So visualization meditations are ones in which you envision what you want, for lack of a better term. So a lot of them are like visualize your ideal self, or visualize your higher self or your higher power, or visualize loved ones around you, or visualize your dream vacation. Visualization meditations can be very powerful for manifestation, but be wary. I get very bad headaches only when I do visualization meditations. I think my third eye chakra is just a little too open. But try it out. And if you're trying to land a job or change careers or get into university or find a partner, find love, visualization meditations can really help. Kind of just visualizing yourself doing the thing. Like, for example, if you want to learn how to play guitar, visualize yourself playing the guitar. It helps, and it'll make you a better guitar player. The science has proven it, actually. I just don't have the study here right in front of me, but there is a study that shows that when musicians and artists visualize themselves actually doing the thing, the same muscles and like areas in the brain light up, and it actually helps them perform better. Is that not insane? Start meditating today. And then whatever path you choose, I want to say that the most important thing about meditation is just focusing on the feeling. How does it feel somatically in your body? In our society, we're so focused on like accomplishments and achievements and intellectualism. Honestly, it's like, can we get out of our brains and into our bodies? Oftentimes, your body knows before your brain does. Have you ever like had a situation in which you're like, I probably shouldn't do this. I don't really want to do this. I have like a pit in my stomach. Like, I really feel like I should just stay home. But you don't stay home. You go out anyway, and you realize your body was telling you something that you just couldn't intellectualize in words. That happens to me all the time. One time, I was hanging out with my friends. We went out to this bar. It starts pouring down rain. I'm just not having a good time. There's only porta potties. And I'm like, I just want to go home. And I knew I shouldn't have came out. And I came out anyway. So take the time to just somatically feel your body and feel what your body is telling you. It also works in, kind of the inverse way as well. Sometimes I just have, again, the same pit in my stomach, but I can't really verbalize or intellectualize it. It's the same pit, but it hits different. And that's when I know I should really do something. For example, this podcast. So focus on the feeling, no matter what kind of meditation you choose. And I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something about meditation, the history of meditation, and some tips to kind of start a meditation practice. We have reached the end of the very first episode. I have no idea how long this even is, because in my GarageBand, everything is like numbered, and I don't even know how long we've been talking, but I have enjoyed every single last second of it. And I want to leave you with this beautiful Swedish proverb: shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is half sorrow. Oh, isn't that so good? I'm going to read it again. Shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is a half sorrow. Swedish proverb, everyone. I love it. What a great concept. It relates to capitalization, which is another psychological concept, in which, honestly, the same thing. When you share a positive experience with someone, it helps strengthens your relationship, and it helps just kind of bring the two of you closer, and it magnifies that positive experience, especially when they can have like an authentic, positive response to you as well. So take that with you. And then my last little action for you guys that are honorable closure here, which I also have to name. This concept comes from a teacher of mine, Linda. I love you. She's amazing. Linda Lantieri. She is a social emotional learning teacher, and the opening meditation and honorable closure is really influenced by all of the work she's done integrating spirituality and education. But my last little tidbit for you to really help you start your meditation practice today, I invite you to download the app Insight Timer and to listen to my favorite meditation. I actually was just talking about this not too long ago. It is by Lauren Ash, the CEO and founder of Black Girls in Om. And the name of the meditation is Living with Gratitude and Abundance. It is my absolute favorite meditation to do in the morning, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I cannot believe we did this. For you guys, just to know the reference, I had this idea for this podcast like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now at this point. I wrote these scripts probably 8 months ago, and I'm just now recording an episode, and I don't think I'm going to share this with you guys until a couple of months. So I said that to say everything happens in divine timing. So there's no rush. Nature never rushes, yet everything blooms on time. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe, follow. I don't know. I'm new to this podcasting thing. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Naked Yoga Podcast. My name is Nneka, and if you want more content from me, you can follow me on Instagram or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Nourish Nneka. This is a completely independent podcast. Yes, I write the scripts, record, and edit the podcast all by myself. Therefore, any support you could give, like a share, a comment, maybe leaving a little review on Apple Podcast or wherever you might be listening, would go a very long way and warm my little itty bitty heart. Thank you so much once again for listening, my love bug. I will see you in the next episode.